Well, hi there. Welcome to Mission of Hope House. I'm Michael Hall. I'm the Executive Director here at Mission of Hope House in New London. We are an organization that serves folks in recovery from substance abuse disorder and mental health concerns. We have our Resiliency Center here that can serve up to 16 women. And then we have our Bridge Thrift Store, which is just down the road, that kind of helps sustain operations, things like that. We've been in existence since about 2014, opened as a homeless shelter in about 2019, I believe. And then in 2022, I was brought on as the executive director during a transitional period and moved the program from a homeless shelter to a more of a recovery residence, resiliency residence type of place, helping folks that are experiencing substance use disorder, experiencing mental health concerns. We partner with Core Treatment Services out of Manitowoc, where they do all the clinical, and then they open an outpatient office here in Wapaka, which we bring a lot of our clients to and from. And then just kind of currently right now, we have a couple of clients, so we're not full, and we are starting to expand our services with the implementation of DH72, which is a program through Medicaid that will actually allow us to do what we do and create sort of a residual funding stream. So that's how we become and stay sustainable. Theta Care, about a year or 2 years ago, through their volunteer program, they brought out a bunch of workers, and it was just really bad back here. It was all overgrown with weeds. It was dead space. We own up until about the fence rails here, and so they came out and helped us build this deck so that the girls have somewhere to go where they can grill out and sit by the fire or just kind of hang out and relax. There are people that have a string of bad luck. It is what it is, and they're not, they lose their home. So, but that's a very, very small percentage of people. Typically speaking, it's mental health disorders or substance use disorder and or both, or there's past trauma, or it might be that they are justice involved. And so when we started these organizations, we started them to address those needs rather than address the actual housing part itself. And then we partner with organizations like CAP Services that can help with housing vouchers and getting people in to low-income housing and things like that. So one organization can't do it all. And so we really tend to be siloed in the nonprofit space. And so we really try to work hard on just saying, hey, we're not recovery, or we're not housing, or we're resiliency. We want to build a more healthy and resilient New London, Wapaka County. So that's where we come from. Homelessness, which people think of like, oh, I live under a bridge, or I live in my car, or whatever, but there's rural homelessness, which looks like I stayed at Susie's house for a week, and then I'm going to John's house for a week, and then I'm going to my mom's for a week, and they'll do these circuits, but they don't have a home, and many times they haven't had homes in many years. Typically it's because there's maybe a criminal charge that they have that a landlord doesn't understand or can't work with. So that's really the biggest problem that we face. Even if we had someone that came in today, there's apartments and there's homes available. They might even have the money to live in them, but something on the background check could come back and they could be turned down. And I would say right now in Wapaka County, we have an affordable housing crisis. There's very few places that we can send people. We know a couple of landlords that we work with, but it's very, very few and far between. So this is obviously our kitchen area. It's a beautiful kitchen. It's a beautiful space to make food. Before the food wise, yeah, so we never say no to food, because if we don't have a way to get rid of it here, we have just kind of a network of other nonprofits and churches and places that can get rid of it for us and get it to the right people. So we saw that really, really effectively done through the flood. There were several organizations that made meals and would bring them to the city. They were feeding. It really makes a big difference when people are here and they're receiving services. If they can meet just people that are in the community, it kind of really helps them to integrate back into a little bit more gently, as opposed to sort of feeling like they've been in an institution and then now they've got to open the door and go into a world they don't know and that sort of thing. So we're always looking for food, always looking for help, always looking for people that will just pour in.
So I think
here's the sunroom, so that's where people can kind of go just to be quiet. It's like the getaway quiet space.
Nice.
It is a nice little room, a nice little nook. And then all the rooms are down this hall. We have 4 bathrooms here, so it makes it a little less stressful in the morning for the ladies, that sort of thing. And then each of these rooms are furnished just sort of for a different size. Yeah, you can flip the light on. Just depending on who we have on site and who's staying here and that sort of thing.
Very nice. Very comfy.
Yeah, there used to be just